Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Piyush and I'm thrilled to announce the starting of a new series which is 30 days of AWS Terraform. Yes, we'll be learning AWS with Terraform end to end with 30 full length videos, no shortcuts, no gimmick, just pure knowledge, just pure hands on so that you would not just learn Terraform but also make sure you are interview ready. Make sure that you apply all the learned skill in your day-to-day job or even if you are preparing for the interview. This is one of a kind, the similar series that I did for Azure Terraform as well, and I make sure that in this series as well I'll provide a lot of value. So I will just walk you through the content of this video, like why are we doing this day zero video, and I'm gonna share you each and every details about the series. So let's get into it. So this is what we're going to cover in this video. We'll cover the prerequisite of this playlist, what is covered in this playlist. Then we talk about 30 days of AWS Terraform challenge, what it is, what are the prizes, how to participate, and there are some early prizes as well. Now, what's going to be the schedule look like for video publishing? And what if you are stuck somewhere and need help? So we'll discuss each and everything. So I would highly recommend watching this video till the end, otherwise you will miss some important details. So if you are new here and we haven't met before, hi, my name is Piyush and this is what I do all day long. Cloud and DevOps, it is what I like, what I love, and what I love to teach to everyone. I have been doing this for past 4 years through my channel Tech Tutorials with Piyush, in which you are watching this video, and I have been in IT for past 13 plus years, and I work at Google as a technical solution developer, and for the past 8 to 10 years I have been working with cloud and DevOps. It is important to know my credential because if you are following me for next 30 days, you should know who am I, what my credibility is, and whether you should follow this series along or not, right? Before opening a book, before opening a series or anything, like, you should be knowing who the author is, who the publisher is, or who the creator is. What are their credentials, what have they done so far, and what makes them qualified to teach you something, right? So if I have not worked with Terraform before, or if I am something who has just gathered the knowledge through LLMs, Google search, and so on, and I've just started teaching out everyone, I don't think I'd be a credible resource for teaching this particular topic, right? So that is why I thought it will be better if you just understand my credentials and how I got introduced to Terraform, cloud, and DevOps, and so on. Maybe we'll not go in depth, but a quick introduction. As you can see over here, this is my certification badges. So I have over 20 plus certification done so far in cloud and DevOps. Some of them are expired and many of them I have recertified as well if I found them credible and if I found them valuable. So it ranges from Kubernetes to AWS to Azure to GCP and many more. And HashiCorp Terraform as well. The certificate, as you can see, it's over here. It was expired in 2023 and I got that in 2020. So 5 years back. So, and I have been working with Terraform for quite a lot of time, like way before I've acquired the certification. And I also published the end-to-end series on Azure Terraform, which is 28 videos, right? So, and I am a HashiCorp ambassador. This is the badge. This is the recent badge from 2025. I got another badge in 2024. So I am HashiCorp ambassador since 2024 because this series is AWS plus Terraform. So I am HashiCorp ambassador since 2024 and AWS community builder since 2021. So it's been 5 years for that as well. And you got these badges and recognition when you publish quality content around their products, tools, and services, right? So these communities recognize you as one of their ambassadors. So I hold these two badges as well. And you can watch my YouTube channel. I have 400 plus videos published so far. I have multiple end-to-end playlists, whether it is Azure DevOps, whether it's CKA series, which is Certified Kubernetes Administrator, whether it is Jenkins, GCP certification, AZ900. So I'm all over the place, not just restricted myself to one cloud or tool. You will find AWS plus Azure plus GCP, everything in my channel. And because this series, I wanted it to be one of a kind, that is why you won't see any content creator as of today who has published the Terraform series with multiple clouds. So I already completed it with Azure Terraform, which has gathered over 100k plus views so far. And now I am publishing this AWS Terraform series as well with 30 full length videos, and I'm going to explain the content as well. So let's go ahead and see the GitHub repository. This is the GitHub repository. I'll share the link in the description section as well. And yeah, before that, I also published my book. So I believe it'll be a good to add. I'm not bragging anything, right? So I'm just sharing my credentials with you so that you would know whether I'm qualified enough to teach this or not, right? So I have recently published my book on Kubernetes certification exam. If you want to check that out, it is available on Amazon and many other book publishing websites like O'Reilly, Barnes and Noble. If you are in UK, Amazon.com, .in, .ca, and many other websites. So go and check it out. If you find it interesting, you can order your copy. So coming back to our GitHub repo, as you can see, I have not published it. This is the first video and still got 8 stars and 21 folks. So thank you so much, whoever is supporting the repository. So if you are new here and if you find this content helpful, so I would highly recommend doing a star on this repository. If not, that's okay. So let's start with the prerequisite. So here is the prerequisite. So you can just collapse this section, and here are some prerequisites. As I've told you, this series and most of the series that I publish on my channel, it focused on beginners. Still, you need to have some understanding. Still, you cannot just start it right away. You should have some sort of visibility, right? So what you should have before starting the series, you should have an AWS free account, okay, the trial account or the subscription, paid subscription, whatever you have, but you need to have it. Otherwise, you won't be able to do the hands-on. Then you should have working knowledge of AWS. So AWS fundamentals, you should know how do we provision multiple services through AWS console. Not from Terraform, I'm just talking about the basic fundamental knowledge of AWS in multiple services. Then you should know how OSI model works, what are the different protocols, and how does SSH, HTTP, HTTPS, all these protocol work. So the basic fundamentals knowledge of networking. Then you should have IDE installed. Either it could be Visual Studio Code or any preferred IDE of your choice. Git installed and working knowledge of Git and GitHub. Otherwise, you won't be able to participate in the challenge, because I will show you how do we participate. And also, because whenever there is code involved in something, because Terraform files itself, it's some sort of code. It's written in HCL, which is HashiCorp configuration language. Still a code, and we have to maintain the code on a version control system such as GitHub. So that's why it is important to have Git and GitHub knowledge. Then you should have a working system, either Linux, Mac, or WSL. Please don't ask me if you can practice all of these on your mobile phone or anything else. Like this is not possible, I believe. So you should have, even if you have Windows, make sure you have WSL installed so that you can run all the Linux compatible commands over there. And if you have Linux or Mac, then it's fine. You don't need to do anything else, but you should have the knowledge of Linux and shell scripting. Now follow any tutorials that you find from YouTube, from your favorite content creator, from Free Code Camp, or whoever you follow. That's all right. Doesn't matter, right? You should have this knowledge. Now, basic understanding of YAML and JSON, because this HashiCorp configuration language is similar to JSON. So it will be a good to have knowledge of JSON. Otherwise, we'll be looking into it. Then you should know the deployment strategies. So here I have shared some link. I will add more links over here as well. But for now, I have added some links. So I have added one for this. And then there are a couple of videos that I have added. So deployment strategies, blue-green deployment, canary deployment, rolling update, and so on, right? So make sure you understand that. Now, this is AWS networking fundamental. This is really important. It covers the important concepts of VPC, subnets, NAT gateways, internet gateway, route tables, and so on. So make sure you watch this video as well. And IP addressing. How do we calculate IP addresses in a VPC? And then how do we calculate the next CIDR range? How do we divide a VPC into multiple subnets? What is subnet mask? How do we do the calculation? Everything will be covered in this short video. So make sure you understand these prerequisites, okay? So prerequisite is done. That's all you need. And that is why I'm giving you some time. That is why I'm not publishing day one video from tomorrow. I'm giving you a week of time, and we'll come back to the schedule from when I'll be publishing it. But let's start with the second one, which is what is covered. So if you go back to the repo, This entire curriculum is divided into three core modules. Okay, if you are just preparing for Terraform certification, the first module should be enough. First module and maybe one or two concept from module 2 and 3. I will walk you through that. But first module has around, let's say, 13, I believe. Yeah, 13 videos in the first module. So it should cover everything about Terraform certification exam. And first module has all the Terraform core concepts, right? It starts with understanding what is Terraform and infrastructure as a code. And then in the first video itself, day one video, will install Terraform, understand it. Then Terraform provider, all the different concepts related to providers. Then we'll start creating resources from day three onwards. Like we'll start with the bare minimum VPC and S3 bucket creation, understand the dependencies. Then we'll implement remote backend state file management, and we understand everything about state files and how do we manage remote backend using S3 bucket. Then we'll look into variables, input, output, local variables. What are the precedence of variable? What are the different ways through which we can use the variables? Then file structure, like how do we organize the Terraform project into multiple files? What are the best practices? How does Terraform loads these files? All those things will be covered in day 6. In day 7, we'll understand type constraints, right? So different data types. If you are from programming background, you would probably already be familiar with these concepts. But if you are not, don't worry, I've got you covered. I've explained this from a basic, very beginner point of view. And after this, you won't have any issues in understanding these type constraints or data types in Terraform. So string, number, boolean, map, set, list, tuple, objects, everything will be covered with the help of example and with the help of demos. Then meta argument, count, for each loop, for loop, and everything will be covered with the help of practical examples. Then life cycle meta arguments. So there are some meta arguments. We'll be covering that in day 9. In day 10, we'll talk about, and not just talk about, we'll do the hands-on demo of dynamic blocks and expressions. Conditional expressions like if else, and then there are splat expression, there are dynamic blocks, right? So everything will be covered over here. And in day 11 and 12, this is divided into two videos because it was such a long topic. There are so many functions that I have covered. That's why this video 11 was maybe an hour long or more than that. And then video 12 is under 30 minutes or so. So that's why I divided into two videos. So day 12 and 13, and day 13 has data sources example. Okay, so that's your core Terraform concepts till day 13. Now in module 2 we have mini projects. So day 14 will start with static website hosting on S3 with CloudFront. Everything will be done by Terraform. Then day 15 we have VPC peering. We'll create multiple VPCs, we'll establish peering connection with them. Everything will be done by Terraform. In day 16, we'll be creating multiple IAM roles, multiple IAMs users, groups, and creating a dynamic association between those and so on. In day 17, we'll be creating AWS web application using Elastic Beanstalk, and we'll be doing blue-green deployment over here. So it's another important project. In day 18, there is a Lambda function in which you'll upload the file to S3 bucket, and based on that trigger, it will trigger a Lambda function. That function will compress and download your file in a separate S3 bucket. So that's an important use case. In day 19, we'll understand Terraform provisioners. It's sort of a mini project, but it's more of a concept, right? So it's important to understand. Then we have video 20. From here, we'll start a real-time project. So first is EKS cluster creation with managed node group, custom modules. So there are modules in Terraform that are created for us, which are public modules, and then we also create our own modules, which is called custom modules. These are nothing but the templates, right? So we create our own custom modules, and using those modules, we'll create multiple EKS related resources. Day 21, we have another mini project, which is AWS policy and governance. In day 22, we have RDS database creation, another mini project. Day 23, AWS monitoring project. Day 24, the last mini project, which is around creating a highly available, scalable infrastructure. It will have multiple EC2 instances with auto scaling groups and load balancer, net gateways, and so on. Right. So that's module 2. Module 3 will have advanced concepts like Terraform import. It's another real time project. Then Terraform cloud and workspaces. So this is how the managed offering of Terraform comes into the picture, and how do you create multiple workspaces and use that Terraform cloud. Then day 27, we have AWS DevOps with Terraform. So we'll be provisioning CI/CD pipeline, and using that pipeline, we'll be executing the Terraform commands to provision the infrastructure for you. Day 28, really important, three-tier architecture, complete architecture, which is highly available, fault tolerant, using web tier, application tier, database tier, includes load balancing, auto scaling, and everything built in. Okay, so that's important one. Day 29 will be looking into GitOps with Terraform. So we'll understand what is GitOps, we'll implement Argo CD, and based on that, we'll perform the GitOps CI CD pipeline. Now, day 30, this is not day 0, this is day 30, that's a mistake. We'll be implementing Terraform drift detection using Terraform Cloud. Okay, so whenever someone makes the changes directly from the infrastructure, it won't let it, or it will roll back the changes to make sure that whatever is there in GitHub, whatever your configuration is, that is the only source of truth. So that's called drift detection. So we'll be doing that using Terraform Cloud. Yeah, so that these are the all the topics that we'll be covering. So that is what is covered. Now, important part. What is 30 days of AWS Terraform? So this is a challenge that we have hosted, and in this challenge, what you will do, you will watch all the videos and then you will implement the task given in each of the folders. So if you go over here, lessons folder, and let's say you see every day has a dedicated folder. So let's say you go to any folder, let's say day 3. Okay, in day 3 folder, there'll be a readme file which will have notes and everything that we have covered through the video, right? Everything will be there in this, including the commands, code snippets, everything. And then it will have a task.md file. This is what you need to implement to participate in the challenge. So watch the video and take notes. And this is the task: create a Terraform file to provision VPC and S3 bucket, create implicit dependency between them, and don't worry about the variables, files, etc. We'll do that later on, because by day 3 we have not covered those things as over here, right? Then you need to write a short blog about what you have learned and include your own diagrams and code examples. Make sure you write your own Terraform code, otherwise you won't be learning as much. Then within the blog, make sure you embed the video, not just hyperlinking. Make sure you embed the video so that it helps us spread the visibility. Then share your blog on LinkedIn or Twitter with the hashtag 30 days of AWS Terraform. Tag me and the CloudOps community. We have a Twitter handle as well as we have a LinkedIn page. So make sure you follow the page and tag both of us, and then submit your work by creating an issue. Now, there are some tips. You can go over here, but then how would you do the submission over here? So you have written the blog, you have shared the blog on social media, but the next step is, how do we get the blog submissions automated? So you go over here to the issues. Okay, so there is a second tab, issues, create a new issue. Then you will see some template over here. So there is this 30 days of AWS Terraform challenge submission. So click over there and then make sure you follow the template in the same format. So let's say you are following day 3, right? So just replace this with day 3 and add your GitHub username over here. So for example, my username is this. Now, which day of challenge? Let's say day number 3. Challenge topic day 3 is S3 bucket and VPC creation. Now add your blog post over here. So let's say I'll just add something random. The cloudopscommunity.org. Okay. And then add your social media post URL over here. Don't add dummy values, only add the valid values. Otherwise your submission will be rejected. Right. Then your practice GitHub repository. So make sure you have your own GitHub repository. You can fork this repository and make your changes in your own GitHub repository and provide the repository URL over here. Okay. Again, no dummy value. Make sure you provide your own value. So you can just write a couple of lines over here. Today I have learned how to implement S3 bucket and VPC and created dependencies between multiple resources. Okay. And after that, just verify all these things. This is a checklist. Okay. Completed today's task present in the GitHub repo. Yes. Published blog. Yes. Video embedded. Yes. Posted on social media. Yes. Push the code to GitHub repository. Yes. Once you have done that and you have done everything, now hit create. Okay. Over here. As soon as you create the issue, it will be assigned to someone in my team, as well as there is a GitHub action. Okay. Or let's say I'm going to assign it to myself as a maintainer of this repo, or some other maintainer, Bhairav or Saurabdeep, it will be assigned to them and they will start reviewing it. Once they review, they will add a tag over here. Okay. So I'm not really sure what the tag is, but I believe that tag was verified. Okay. Let me try this. So once we verify this, so this we have added to make sure that we don't have the spam submissions, right? Only valid submissions are accounted. Once we verify it, and I think that will be it. And then GitHub, yeah, you see it's already closed because we have the automation in place. Whenever it finds the verified tag, it will review the submission, and based on that it will complete the PR. So let's see over here. So it GitHub action triggered. There is a pipeline that we have created, and it says your day 3 submission has been processed and added to the progress file. Now there is your progress file, there is the leadership board. So if you open this progress file, it will have all your progress documented. So for example, currently I have completed day 3, right? So day 3 is over here, all the details of day 3. Like these are all the test submissions that I did. So day 1 is over here, and here are the my repository details and everything. Now this will be inside the submissions. So let's go back. Let's go back to the repository. In repository, you see this folder submissions. So for your username, there'll be a file created inside the participants board, right? So there are 3 files. We all 3 are maintainers, and this is what we have tested. So no matter how many submissions I do, there'll be a single file with my name because it's tracked with my GitHub username. So if I go inside that, okay, this is the file that we have seen. And because we are doing everything automatically, otherwise it is a lot of pain to verify in each and every entry. And then, so inside the submissions, you have a leadership board. So if you click on that, it will show you the leadership board. Okay. So at the end of the week, we can just review the board and we can just verify the top contributors. Okay. This is the participation. Here's the rank. Completed how many days? Because I have 2 submissions, so I have completed 2 days. Current streak is 1 day. Latest day is day 3, which is just I did. This is the last submission. Status is active, and here are all the statistics, like we have total participants, total submissions, blah blah blah, and all the metadata around it, right? So this leadership board will be visible to you, and you can verify the submissions and everything, right? So this is how we will be tracking this 30 days of AWS Terraform challenge. Okay, so this is what it is. Now about prices. So there are a lot of prices under discussion, and what we have finalized so far is, I'm just gonna add it over here. So till now we have finalized $20 AWS credits to 50 participants or 50 winners. Let's call it 50 winners, not just participants. You have to be a winner to get that. So that's the first prize. Now earlier we were planning, or what we have done till now for other series is we have provided these prizes at the end of the series, but this time we are doing something different, because there are many students who will be watching this series and following the challenge. There are many professionals who don't have, let's say, an AWS account, and they need some sort of credit to help them with their learning journey, right? So we have decided this time we'll be providing this $20 credit to 50 winners at the end of the first week. Okay. By end of 7 videos or 6 videos, whatever, right? So this is what will be, so that you can use these credits to create multiple real-time projects going forward, because some of them will need some amount to be invested, right? So here's a chance. So now learning is not an excuse. You cannot say I don't have credits and I cannot provision the resources or do the hands-on. Here's the chance. And it's not just for 5 or 10 winners, this is for 50 winners. And this is being provided by AWS community. So a huge shout out to AWS communities, especially their community managers who helped me with securing these credits. So thank you so much. The next prize is I'm giving away, this is from my side, 10 copies, 10 hard copies of my book. This one over here, Certified Kubernetes Administrator. I'm giving 10 copies of it to 10 winners, but this will be at the end of the challenge. Okay, so 10 copies of CKA book. That's the next prize. The third prize is, okay, this is yet to be decided. So I'm still working on it, but I'm trying to get the details. Like, I have contacted HashiCorp community for this, and if they are planning to support the challenge, so if they provide us some funds, we can have another prize over here. Otherwise, I'll try to see something that I can do from my pocket. That's all right. Okay. So these are the prizes. Participations, how to participate, we have already discussed. Early wins, this is the early win, which is 20 AWS credits, right? So you can take benefit of it. Now the next part is, what's the schedule be like? Okay. So as I've told you, I'll be publishing one video each day, right? So why don't I do that while we are here together, right? So all the videos that you can see, I have uploaded 6 videos already. So let me just schedule it. When do we start scheduling it from? Okay. So let's see. Let's click on schedule. Today is what, 17th. Let's give everyone 1 week to complete the prerequisites. And if someone is new to it, and let's start publishing it from 24th, which is Monday. Okay. So 24, and I usually publish at 4 a.m. EST. This is the EST time. If you are in any other time zone, it will be different for you. And I'm gonna set it as premiere. Okay, so here is the schedule. So first video is published. It will be 24th November. Mark the date. Now next video over here, schedule next day, 25th, 4 a.m. set as premiere. Done. Now next video, which is day 3, schedule 26, 4 a.m. set as premiere. Done. I'm setting it as premiere so that you can also see and you can click on notify me as soon as it is uploaded, right? So the next one is over here, schedule, and this is gonna be 27, 4 a.m. set as premiere. And the last one, oh no, not the last one. Now we have 5th one, which is over here. And this is 28th, 4 a.m. schedule. And the last one for now is gonna be 29th. So yes, videos will be there from throughout the week, 7 days a week, because I aim at completing this before the Christmas, because as soon as the holiday starts, yeah, you should be having some time off because you have completed everything, right? So you can see the schedule over here. From 25 to 29th, all the videos are published. 24, 5th, 6th, 7, 8, 9. And after that onwards, you will be seeing one video each day. No matter if it's a weekend or weekday, every day you'll be seeing the video. Make sure you complete the task. Make sure you complete all the prerequisites and make sure you participate in the challenge, share it on your social media, share the videos and resources with your friends and colleagues, and so that they can also join you with this learning marathon. It's not a sprint, you don't have to run alone, you have to run together in a group, right? So help each other, support each other, and if you are still stuck and if you need help, then go over here, the cloudopscommunity.org, click join us. It will redirect you to our Discord server, which is over here. Now, this is a wonderful place. We have 5,300 plus active members. Why I say active members? Because we purge the inactive members from time to time. Okay, and if you scroll down and on the left side, you'll see there is a category which says Terraform courses, AWS plus Azure. There is a separate channel for Azure Terraform, and I have created one separate channel for AWS Terraform, which is this course. If you are facing any issue, what you need to do is first go over here, okay, and then click on this post guidelines. Okay, now copy this template. Okay, it basically says that provide as detailed as possible whenever you are asking for any assistance. Provide issue summary, provide step to reproduce, expected result, actual result, and the error details. Okay, so more details you provide, it will help others to help you with ease without asking a lot of questions back and forth, and with knowing all the context, right? So click on new post and ask your question. Let's say day 1, stuck with understanding what is ISE, right? Enter your message over here. So this is rendered in markdown, so you can just use the shortcuts. Let's say I've done the bold, or you can add other markdown formats such as double star for subheadings. Provide the issue summary, provide actual results. You can provide error details over here. Let's say error not found, right? Something like that, and click on post. Once you do that, someone from the community will help you with that concept. And it's not just the community, like you can also view the all the different posts, all the different threads inside that channel. And if you think that you can help someone, please do that, because this is a community effort, right? Everyone is helping each other without asking anything in return. So make sure you help others, and you can also expect the same from everyone. I'll also try to help. We have wonderful maintainers. We have Abba. We have all other maintainers who are there to help. We have Dave. So they will try to also help. But make sure you help each other. Make sure you take this as a learning challenge, as a learning marathon, not a sprint. You don't have to run alone. Let's do that in a group. And if you need a dedicated study group in the Discord community, take a team of 5. Okay, make a group of 5. Share the details with me, and I'll create a group for you. Okay, make sure you help each other. That's it. That's the only ask. Make sure you do the hands-on. All the hands-on. It is really important. Otherwise, you just watch the video, and at the end of it or after a couple of days, you will lose the context. And without doing the hands-on, you will not be able to explain in the interview when someone asks you, okay, so you have created this project, like what challenges did you face? You won't be able to explain it to them. But if you have implemented it yourself, your muscle memory will make you remember, okay, this is where I got stuck and this is how I resolved the issue. So make sure you do that. That's the only ask. So I will see you on 24th with day 1 video. Make sure you follow along. Make sure you subscribe the channel, and make sure you share it with whoever you can. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you have a wonderful day. Thank you.